What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about horror movie endings that are actually scary. I'm talking about those final moments that really stick with you long after the movie is over. Because of course jump scares can be really scary and very effective at times, but for the most part jump scares don't really stick with me long afterwards. But if the movie ends with a super scary cliffhanger, that can leave a lasting impression. So in today's video I wanted to talk about the 3 horror movie endings that really got to me, and before I go any further I do want to say that these videos are heavily inspired by Zerk's YouTube videos. If you haven't seen his channel, I'll link it in the description below, so go ahead and check it out. But without further ado, let's begin. So the first horror movie ending that I want to talk about is Paranormal Activity, because the ending of this movie freaked me the out. I literally could not sleep for like a solid 2 to 3 months without the lights on. That's a fact. And I'm not even talking about this part where she throws the husband to the camera and you see the woman possessed as a demon. That to me isn't even the scariest part of the scene. As a matter of fact, I think that's the least effective part of the ending, in my opinion. Because for me, what I find terrifying about that scene are the moments right before that, and before I break it down, I'm just gonna let you experience it for yourself. That scream in that scene is one of the most horrifying screams I've heard in any scary movie ever. Comment down below what's the best horror movie scream, but to me, that's one of them. Holy cow, that was terrifying. And what's so scary about this moment to me is the mystery of it all, the ambiguity. Like, you don't know what the is happening. Because sure, when she comes back and she's possessed, that's kind of scary too, but it's not as scary as what I was making up in my mind. I truly believe that. I truly believe that you not seeing what's scary is what makes it scarier. For example, that's why the dark is scary. That's why faceless figures are scary. That's why people behind masks are scary. It's the fear of the unknown, and to me, the fear of the unknown is the best, because it's not the mask itself that we're scared of, it's not knowing the person who's behind the mask, who's the sinister individual that is behind this. Plus, on top of that, no matter how scary your demon is or your villain or monster design, nothing's ever gonna be scarier than what my mind conjures up. But that's what I love about this scene, is that you can't see her, so you don't know what is happening. Is someone breaking into the house and attacking her? Is she losing her mind? Is it the demon? What the And then you see the husband go there, and then it all goes quiet, and then you hear the footsteps. This is what stayed with me long after the movie was done. The footsteps, bro. I'd be in the corner of my bed when I was young as just waiting to hear those footsteps. Oh my god, I swear to god, if I thought there was gonna be footsteps coming upstairs towards my room, and it's the fact that I didn't know what was making the sound of those footsteps that made it scary. If I knew it was a demon or it was the nun from The Conjuring 2, yeah, that's terrifying. But I don't know, it's just the fact that I don't know, and it's my imagination running wild. That's what makes it so scary. But then obviously you see her, so you assume that she's possessed and she killed the husband, yada yada yada. But up until that point, the ambiguity of it all made it so scary to me. So number 1 is gonna be Paranormal Activity. To this day, I think that's one of the best horror movie endings I have ever seen. The second horror movie ending that I want to talk about is Insidious, the first horror movie I ever watched in my life. So you can imagine this movie's ending me up. But what I enjoy about this ending so much is that they build it up throughout the entire movie. I mean, from literally the first scene of the movie, you see the bride in black, you see her haunting Josh's body when he was little, you see her lurking in the background of Josh's pictures and getting closer and closer each time trying to get his body. And we're even told throughout the film that Josh is also able to astral project, and that this entity called the bride in black, following him his entire life ever since he could astral project, waiting for the opportunity to possess his body. So already that backstory creepy as hell, and on top of that, it's just happening subtly in the background. Josh is not the main focus of the first Insidious, it's more Dalton, the son. We're all trying to save Dalton's life, but that this side quest storyline is happening in the background just adds to it, because you're not really focused on it. So at the end, when it comes up and she technically becomes the main villain of the movie at the very end, it just completely catches you off guard, and and it really worked for me because the paranormal lady feels like there's something off, so she takes the camera and takes a picture of Josh, but we don't get to see the picture. We just see her facial expression, which is terrifying. Then she dies, but then the mom comes and picks up the camera and she looks at it and we still don't see what's on the camera. I mean, they are teasing us in this scene, or at this point they're just straight up blue balling us. And then she puts her hand over her mouth and we're like, what the is it? And then you finally see the camera and you see the bride in black and you see her charge up to you. Ooh, that scene gets me every time because right after that she puts the camera down and he comes from behind like, honey, puts his hand on her shoulder, and then she turns around, she's like, and the movie ends. That's a cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen. Because as soon as that movie ended, the only thing I could think about is what if my parents were demon, or what if my mom or one of them was a monster, and you literally as a kid cannot leave your house. If you're an adult, you can go anywhere, but as a kid, you're stuck in your house. So the thought of having one of your caretakers, people that literally help you stay alive, be a demon, and there's nothing you can do about it is a very scary thought to have, especially when you watched it as a kid. If you watch it as an adult, I guess it's not as impactful. But yeah, in conclusion, I really like how they set it up throughout the entire film and it really delivers at the end, because that's exactly what it is. It's a setup and a payoff, and it just feels so satisfying when you get a good setup and a good payoff, and that's exactly what it was. The last horror movie ending that I want to talk about is the Blair Witch Project. Maybe some of you have not seen this movie, but I'm sure you've heard of the ending or seen pictures of it because it's just so iconic. If you guys see here, I got my Blair Witch Project stick figure, so it's my favorite horror movie of all time, so I think I should start off by mentioning that. I am a little bit biased, but what you have to understand about this movie's ending is you're not going to get its full effect if you don't go into it knowing the backstory of this movie. Because if you guys are young, man, I don't feel that old, but I just have to say it is an older movie. The marketing campaign made it look like this was real found footage, like people actually found footage of these kids getting lost in the woods. So people went into this movie thinking it was real, not like a gimmick, oh it's found footage, like real. No, like people legitimately thought these kids were missing. So knowing that and watching this ending, holy people must have been absolutely terrified. Even me knowing that lore, watching the ending, it scares me, but I'm telling you, I would not have had, like, I don't know what they felt, because that would be a whole nother level. Obviously when I watch it, I try to put myself in those shoes, in that lens to watch it, but at the same time it's not the same as I imagine growing up in that time era and going to the movies legitimately thinking that was real. But back to the scene itself, they find this house in the middle of the woods, they go in there, and then the woman sees her friend standing in the corner doing absolutely nothing, looking down, and then you just hear her scream in panic, and then all of a sudden the camera falls as if something hit her and the movie ends. Like I said, if you thought that was real, that is terrifying. What the happened? And just like I mentioned with the Paranormal Activity ending, the ambiguity of it all is what makes it scary. Like, what the hell is this house doing in the middle of the woods? Who lives in there? And then seeing her friend in the corner looking down, not responding to her, is just very creepy and eerie and disturbing. It just unsettles you when you watch it, especially the way she's screaming. The acting in this scene is phenomenal. What the hell happened to them? We don't get like answers of if they found the bodies or if they're dead. We just get that last scene. Who the hell hit her? What the hell hit her? It's just a lot of questions that don't get answered, and that adds to the scariness. This movie literally is like the godfather of the found footage genre. Literally, it's not the first found footage movie ever. There has been other ones like the Cannibal Holocaust and The Last Broadcast, which came out before that movie. But let's make no mistake, this bitch is the one that put found footage on the map. Get it straight, bro. Blair Witch Project was the one that put found footage on the map, made it the horror genre that it is today. And you can understand why. You gotta give credit where credit is due. That movie is fantastic, especially for its time. I heard they're gonna make a remake, which... oh my god. I wanna do a live stream. I wanna start live streaming and talk about that. Let me know down in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing a live stream. But yeah, I have a whole rant that I want to give on that because I'm not excited for the Blair Witch remake. I think it won't work, but that's a topic for a different video. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below the best horror movie endings that you have seen that impacted you, because I left a couple out, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Saw, just because those were not as scary to me. Like the Saw is more of a twist, like wow, that was cool, versus these ones I was scared after the movie ended. But that's it. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.